Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft episode. Today we're going to take a little bit of a break from all of the technology stuff that we've been doing. There was a comment left on, well, I'm going to start the episode with a bit of another look at these multi-farms, just because there was a comment left by one of my regular commenters, September Waves, or Waverly September, whichever way around those two names are, saying that this might actually be square in this particular pack. So I know from previously that this does go out to 7 out here, and that is sort of the max. In fact, yeah, you can see that doing stuff there. But what happens when we start putting stuff like that? Now what I'm expecting is going to happen, if correct, is that it'll start putting some hummus on top of these. Maybe not. So I'm wondering if, like, the regular size for a 3x3 center is, I think it's only 5 out, or 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. I found out that this was 7 to get out to the edge of here, but it looks like it keeps exactly the same shape. So I wonder if those that commented on my video saying that it was more of a square shape, I wonder if you're actually doing a smaller square shape in the middle and missing out a whole bunch of extra again on the edge here, because this certainly doesn't look like these things are square at all. In fact, it looks like it's just a regular shape. Yeah, regular shape, just slightly bigger. Anyway, so I'll clean that up later. The other thing I wanted to do on this episode was to gear up a bit better, essentially. So what we were going to do is in here, look at especially these two here, the Copter Jetpack and the electric Jetpack. Electric, we could probably do aluminium, HV, advanced heat vent, industrial diamond. Well, we don't have the implosion compressor quite working yet, and I'm guessing that needs an actual industrial diamond, so we can probably not do the jetpack just yet, but we should be able to do the Copter Jetpack. Steel, Copter blades, which is made from the previous stuff, some MV stuff, more steel, more MV stuff. Yeah, more MV stuff. So it looks like this should be pretty easy. So what I might do is I'll go away and I'll grab a bunch of these things and we'll see how this Copter Jetpack works. The other thing I want to do is make some better armor. At this point, we're probably looking at dark steel. One of the reasons that dark steel is going to be good for us is if we look at, say, dark boots, you can get these empowered status for it, essentially, which is with a vibrant crystal, which is one of these guys, and we've made these already, so this is not too difficult for us to make some vibrant crystals. I have a funny feeling though to apply them to the armor, you may need, yeah, maybe it's just on an anvil. I don't know. I'll make a bunch of these things anyway, and we'll come back and see exactly what is what with each of these items. So I'll see you back here in just a sec. Okay, I've done a bunch of running around, made a few bits and pieces. I've actually made the full Copter pack. Where are we? Haven't claimed it yet. So I went through and made all the bits and pieces for this. The only thing that's a little bit tricky that's worth mentioning is the steel shaft. To make this, you need a metal form, which I don't believe you can make in this pack, or an extruder with this shape. Now to make this shape, however, you need the rod shape, which we've got already, but either dark iron, tungsten steel, or molybdenum. Now, these two are really hard to get. Dark iron, tungsten steel we're not up to yet, but molybdenum, we definitely have some of that, so that's what I ended up using for that, and that gave us the steel shaft. Now what do I want? I want feather falling, loot bag, or some fuel. Well, let's grab the fuel for it, claim that. Hasn't unlocked anything else. Advanced heat exchanger, yeah, I mean I could start making some of these other armors as well, but you know, I just don't really Oh, that's right. This thing here goes in a different slot. Is it here? One of these slots. Ah, well, there we go. If I right click with it, let's throw the fuel in. We gain some buckets out of it. Awesome. Cool, and that puts it on. I don't actually know where it puts that. There's obviously an Adventure Backpacks key somewhere, so there is there is in the controls. Adventure Backpack, open inventory toggle actions in may not work. Open backpack is B. In, no. And B is that, so that's not going to do anything either. So we're going to need to find some new controls for this. Not T, G, H. Come on, there's got to be something. No. There are no keys. Oh, apostrophes there for actions. Inventory, semicolon, no. So I'm going to have to find a key for that later. This grave for open quest, no, we don't need that. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to make that as. I'll have to come back to that one, probably. Oh, 0. The 0 can do for that. So let's go. What does 0 give us? Yep, 0 gives us the inventory for the thing, and that will take it off. Awesome. And then what do we have? The apostrophe. There we go. Awesome. So I had to hold down crouch with the apostrophe key to turn that on and off. And how much did that actually use? Oh, yeah, tiny bit. Not too bad. Awesome. So that's one thing done. The other thing we wanted to do was to make the armor. Now, I've made them all flat already, and we needed dark. It is the hammer, which is this one. So let's make the leggings, the boots, the helm, and oh, that. Nice full set of armor. And I also made somewhere, there you go, some vibrant crystals already. Now I don't have enough levels for this, so what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to grab the tank. We're going to need to grab what are we? That thing. What I'm thinking we can do is run to our little tank that I've been hiding XP in, grab that, throw it up on the wall, grab our XP shower. I don't know, I mean, there's probably a way better way to get the XP out of this, but for the moment this will do. So how many levels does that give us? 40. Wow, a lot. Okay, it's all sitting there. All right, 49 levels. I had 3 already, so yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good going out of one of those. Okay, now we needed to check our. I'm pretty sure it's in an anvil, which I do happen to have. There we go. It's empowered, so we can go. Empowered 2. So this is where once we put the empowered on, we can add these other things. Putting, oh, you can put goggles of revealing on. Awesome. And power 2, so we can get basic capacitors in there. We might actually do that at some point. Do one of those. That is... So you can put glider wings in there, which I think we've also got. This one can get us... Yeah, awesome. 50% damage aboard by power. So we can power this up by getting some basic capacitors, which I actually have a bunch sitting here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to need some more levels. Huh, that's pretty cool. Awesome, so we can use 4 of these with that and power these up even more, which will be amazing. Just gotta wait for this. And then with all the RF stuff that we did before, how's the anvil looking? Oh, it's starting to get a bit beaten up. Awesome, and power 2. Oh, we can get double layer capacitor. Cool. All right, so let's just do this. May as well. Oh, the anvil's looking pretty beaten up now. Now, down the end here, if I jump on this and go zip down there, we're actually getting quite a bit of biodiesel in here. This is built back up a little bit as well since before. I haven't added any more sodium hydroxide in there just yet. Now, in here, we should be able to power all these guys. So they're all done. We can now take all of this stuff out and look at that. We have full armor as well as looking pretty nifty. We've got our backpack on as well. I wonder if the backpack actually shows something. If we crouch and do our... It does too. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, let's just... Cool, alright, so that's that bit done. Now, the other couple of things that I have been doing is I've been trying to get slightly better seed oil. And one of the ways of doing that is by filling in the spots under here with other trees. I can probably cut a couple of these trunks out as well. Now, to get that, there is another tree called the butternut tree, which has like 180 millibuckets, I think, of seed oil per butternut. And I think that's one of the next best things. Coconuts have 300 in each, butternuts have 180. Butternuts, however, are made... Butternuts are made from a hill cherry and a common walnut. And the common walnut is made from silver lime and hill cherry. So we've got silver lime and hill cherry happening here. The trouble with the common walnut, though, is... I know I have some here somewhere. Ah, they're in my bag. Yes, I've got 3 and this 1. And the reason I've got that many... This one's scanned, which is why it won't stack with the others. But basically... Ah, it's not written. There we go. G, 2 by 2. So I've needed to wait until I have 4 of these in order to actually plant them properly. So what we might do is we'll... it's getting dark. We'll go like this and grab the other one and put it there. We'll run away and sleep. Alright, I'm going to sleep through the night and go and get some bone meal and get this to grow. I will be back in just a second so we can cut this nighttime out. See you in a sec. Alright, so this thing actually grew a lot taller than I was expecting. It's actually taller than the coconuts. Luckily, this is just the walnut step in the middle. So I've taken another 4... Ooh, there's another one of those. Yeah, it just gave me something out of that. So I've taken another 4 of those saplings. So we can try getting the next cross again. What are we hung up on? Not that one, that one. Alright, so let's just get rid of that. Now we have 4 of these, and we want it to be there-ish. Cool, so while that one's growing up, we might have to replant these cherries as well, but hopefully we'll start getting some crosses soon, and we'll see how the how big the butternut trees are. I am hoping they will fit underneath these, but if they've got more leaf blocks, it may actually be worth our while swapping out the coconut for butternut anyway, just because we'll get, you know, if there's twice as many leaf blocks, we'll get twice as many butternuts, and twice as many butternuts over coconuts is more seed oil. So the next thing we wanted to do, now that we've got ourselves some decent armor, I've got this vanadium steel shuriken that I've been using for a while, which is actually pretty good. Like, we're getting, it's got beheading on it now. You know, we're doing 10 hearts of damage. But one of the things I think would be good to make would be to grab probably a cobalt and a vanadium steel, and just make a rapier. So we want the vanadium steel, so we're going to need a sword blade, a crossbar, and a tool rod. So that's half, and the sword blade. So we're going to make the sword blade out of vanadium. Oh, is that even? No, that's right, you have to grind it up first. Ah, come on, I know I've made vanadium steel bits in the past. I've got that, for example. All right, give me a sec. I'm going to run away. I'll figure out, remember what I had to do to get the vanadium steel going again. I'll make all the bits and pieces, and we'll come back and make ourselves the rapier and see where we go from there. So, yeah, it turns out I was just forgetting that you need to do this sort of stuff in the extruder instead. I've already done the cobalt tool rod and the crossbar. Wow, this is going to take a while. All right, back in a sec. Alrighty, we have our sword blade. Let's just go and rush back over the other side. And then we're going to need to probably level this up a little bit at least. What do we want? Rapier. Dink, dink, dink. Vanadium steel rapier. 6 hearts of damage, pretty good durability, and it should be fairly quick. Oh, and we got a nice right-click dodge back as well. So where we'll probably put this one is we will change our... Yeah, we'll put it in the main slot. Actually, I don't think I'm going to use the ender anymore. Turns out that it doesn't seem to stop them warping as well as I remember it doing. If I maybe could empower it, increase skull, and to be honest, I've had far more skull drops from this anyway, just with luck on it for some reason. So who knew? I'm just going to use that instead. So the only things left really for this episode, I know it's been another, or yet another bits and pieces episode, but we've gotten skilled up quite a bit. I don't know what else I can probably do for my armor. This should be enough. I do want to head to the Twilight Forest and potentially go after the lich, because that's kind of blocking a couple of things with wands, with needing lich bones. So we will finally have an episode on that coming up shortly. The only other thing worth mentioning this time around is we're pretty much out of fuel, out of regular fuel. There's nothing left in here. We've got, yeah, this is just about to run out. I'm doing another bunch of stainless steel, so these should all run out. And then underneath, I have got a bunch of piping kind of set up. And I say kind of set up because there are some bits like here It's not joined. We're going to join the advanced combustion generator. So we're going to join it underneath instead. Join it underneath to there. So this is the one that powers the pump. That goes up to the thing directly. This comes over here. So it's basically this whole thing underneath is now plumbed into our new fuel source, apart from there. But that's because I want to move that. Cool, so I think we're pretty much good. I do need to rip a few more things out. I will probably... yeah, I might get rid of all of this stuff here. I don't know how much more real oil I'll get. I know that there are a bunch of things under multi-block goals over here. Time to drill. So we could do the oil drilling rig and start doing some scanning and prospecting for oil, which I think is every 6 chunks. So in the ore gen. So we might do that, but I might just move this whole bit somewhere else anyway, because one of the things, and again, this is someone's commented that I should use cetane boosted diesel, and yep, you're right, I should use cetane boosted diesel, and it'll probably go into this tank eventually, but we'll have, yeah, I need to do a bunch of nitrogen processing first. So if we get some nitrogen processing done to get all the nitric oxide and nitric acid and stuff, we can mix that with this here to make cetane boosted diesel, but also if we have the regular oil making diesel, we can mix that to make cetane boosted diesel, and that way the two, you know, the biofuel and the regular fuel can both mix together and just be one tank, because I don't really want to change, like that pipe that runs underneath, I don't really want to change the fuel type all the time because I have to wait for the whole pipe to flush through every time, and it's just a bit of a pain. So actually we might link that up now. And that is going to take a while. It's a pretty big pipe network. So I'm hoping those small pipes will do. We may have to disconnect it. Now I don't know how that one is going to get out of there, but I'm hoping that by leaving this a little bit, we'll end up flushing stuff through. All right, I might do one more cut. We'll just see how the stuff flushes through, and then that'll probably be the end of this episode. So I'll be back in just a sec, and we'll hope that some of this fuel comes through here. See you in a sec. So we're here at the end. I have managed to, I've been using the hammer just to stop each of these as it gets some fuel in there. And what's happened is, out of the 6 of the engines, we've got 2 that have ended up with 1 milli bucket of the other fuel left, and it just won't flush through. You can go disable, enable. I've been feeding stainless steel dust through to use it up, and as you can see, it's, you know, there's nothing there. So what we're gonna have to do is probably use the plunger. Yep, plunger on both of those, and then we can re-enable all the others that I stopped. And it does look like those 200 milli bucket, the tiny, well not tiny, but the small wooden pipes are doing the trick, or at least keeping up with these as they're running. So I don't think we're going to need any bigger pipes. I was hesitant to use the bigger pipes because you end up with just so much liquid stored in your pipe network. If you ever need to sort of flush it through and gauge how much is there, yeah, the bigger pipes are just really hard to do that gauging with. Anyway, that's all done from there. That's now feeding. I can throw all that dust back in there and get it finished. Yeah, so that's all for this time. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.